Welcome to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. Good morning, it's 10 to 7, I'm just heading out. Come on. There I am, woo! 10 to 7, it's 10 to 7, I'm just heading out. Having the cabins collected today, so that's all good. I'll find some shoes. I think I might wear my Converses today. So, I do like my shoes, so I think I'm going to wear my Converses. But yeah, it's I'm going to get into some arguments today. Do you know what? I'm trying to really get things going and moving. I say arguments. I'm not going to get into arguments. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell a couple of people that I'm in a current discussion with, not employees, I might add, exactly what I think. And this is the thing, see, because when you tell people exactly what you think, they don't like it. Like, is what I've come to learn. Now, that's not to say that I'm rude in my approach. Maybe I'm a little bit cocky. Maybe I'm a little arrogant. Maybe I am a bit cocky. I am a bit arrogant. And also, I don't always take into consideration how people are going to perceive what I'm going to say. And what ends up happening is people think I'm a dick. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, I get shit done. And I'm not rude, and I'm not nasty, and I don't hurt anybody, and I don't go out to belittle anybody or anything along those lines. I just do my fucking job. And I'm good at it. And I just tell people how it is. And I'm just like, this is literally the situation as I see it. Now, sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm probably not. But I'm just brutally honest. And people struggle with that. They prefer me to like have a politeness about me that is a facade or a, okay, don't worry, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. And I'm not talking about internal people here. I'm not talking about our employees. I'm talking about external organisations, some big organisations as well, that just are not delivering as we'd expect. So let's get some car keys. This is a little bit confusing. This is too many sets of keys. Who else has this problem in the morning, eh? Too many sets of keys. So I've got a set of car keys for my car. Emma's got a set for her car. We've then got a set for each other's cars, which gets super confusing because they're the same key. Now, normally that wouldn't be a problem. And this is going to be a proper first world problem. So bear with me, guys. This is a first world problem. Our keys are coded to us. So therefore, if I take my keys, I think I just had 2 chins then. That's really bad, isn't it? Oh, I need to get back in that gym. There we go, I've hit 40. I've hit 40, my life is over. Yeah, we've got separate keys because they're coded separately. So when I get into Emma's car using my key, the driver settings are there for me. Therefore, the seat adjusts for me. The settings in the car in terms of how it drives and how it's all set up, how I've set it all up for me, all adjusts, which is great, and vice versa when she gets into mine. Funny I speak about the cars, actually. I'm going to take Emma's with me today, so I'm going to take this one because it needs charging. Funny I say that about cars. There goes the seat, actually. It's moving away all by itself. It's such a mum's car, there's so much stuff in it. Just like filled with kids stuff, toys and clothes, and I bet there's like packs of mints and chocolates and all sorts inside. Right, I'll catch up with you at work. Okay, I think I can do a video. I'm not driving at the moment. I'm just about to pull on, so I've pulled off the road so I can turn this on. I think I can do a video because I think I could drive like this, and I think I can then do my video like this. I think you'll be able to see me. I'm not going to look down because I'll obviously be driving. Someone's just overtaking me. Never! But I can do my video. I'm not sure if I've started this episode actually, because I have been thinking about, let's just check that's still going, yeah. I have been thinking about how I'm going to position my videos going forwards. And I really want to continue doing Entrepreneur Life because I really enjoy it. And I've been trying to, I think the problem's been that what I've been trying to do is get too many things into Entrepreneur Life as opposed to maybe separating it. I kind of didn't feel that I should separate into
different channels, because I'm just going to end up with so many bloody different channels. It becomes really, really hard to manage. But I think that might be the way forwards to a degree. So really want to continue with what I'm doing in Entrepreneur Life, which pretty much is just following the day-to-day shit that happens in my life. It's all about me, and I'm happy saying that. Entrepreneur Life is all about me. It's all about what I'm going through. It's all about what I'm doing. It's all about the trials, the tribulations, the successes, the failures, the fun, the annoyance, the anger, the frustration, the excitement, the wins, the losses, and just my journey through it. That's what Entrepreneur Life is. It's all about me as an entrepreneur and the journey I'm taking. And I'm really excited by that, because I really, really like talking about it. If you've listened to me before, you'll know that I am quite content talking. Man, can I talk. So I really like talking about that. Sometimes it goes really kind of off-piste, because I just rabble on and ramble on, just crack onto something completely different. So I'm going to continue doing Entrepreneur Life. I'm going to change it up ever so slightly, just in terms of how it's pushed out and in terms of how it's presented. But very much you're still going to hear, welcome to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. And I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to do that once. Actually, I'm going to do it now, and then that's going to be the one that I use, Paul is going to use, just to throw on to each episode, basically, at the beginning of each episode, and we'll use that. So I'm going to prepare myself. Welcome to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. I might redo that one. I'm just pissing around, sorry. Let me see if I can get one right. And Paul will want me to re-record this in the studio where there's no background sound. I'm driving an electric car, but he'll still want me to do it in the background with in the studio with no background sound. Welcome to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. I found it a little bit fast, so let's try one more and I'll crack on with the rest of the episode, I promise. Welcome to... No! Oh my God! I went full into welcome to Entrepreneur Life. I could get that recorded, couldn't I, by somebody different? Anyway. Welcome to... Oh my God, I've done it again. Sorry. Here we go. Welcome to Entrepreneur Life. For fuck's sake, I can't stop now. That's it. I've lost it. That's it. I'm gonna drive off the edge of this road into this field with all these cows in it and ask them to do the voiceover. And see, I've gone off on a tangent. Right, here we go. Welcome to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm probably going to re-record that. So anyway, right, let's carry on. So this is why I like doing it, because it really relaxes me. Just talking about what I'm doing super relaxes me. I was so, kind of felt quite stressed again this morning. I get stressed through frustration. It's one of those things that really frustrates me, is that my stress levels come from being frustrated, and therefore I don't feel like I perform very well. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful about this video, because I've just realised my phone is on its way to going flat, and I don't know the new passcode for the gate. It's on a WhatsApp message, so if my phone goes flat, I'm going to be in serious trouble. So I'm going to continue with Entrepreneur Life, but I'm also going to put together another vodcast series. I don't know how well it will work as a podcast, because I've got an idea of how I want to do it in my head, and that's going to be called Business Lessons. Now, I think I'm just going to call it Business Lessons. I don't think I'm going to fluff it up any more than that. I think I'll probably do Business Lessons with Joel Campbell, maybe, I don't know, but I can then roll it out to Business Lessons with other people. So if I do Business Lessons with Joel Campbell, then I could do Business Lessons with Steve Smith, or Business Lessons with Calvin Klein, or Business Lessons with Ike. So I could do the variation. Therefore, it becomes a really cool channel. But what that's going to be is very specific learnings and very specific business lessons, completely around a singular subject, trying not to detour too much, just staying quite on it. They're kind of going to be like little mini TED Talks, effectively, although I'm aiming for them to be 12 to 14 minutes long. That's it. And I've got a huge list, and this is where I've been getting confused, because I'm like, right, how do I do Entrepreneur Life and get in all of these different business lessons and have it all combined and such like that? And that was really kind of becoming quite tricky. So that's what I want to do. Kieran, who started with me 3 weeks ago, so Kieran's been fired. He hasn't really, that's a joke. Not my best, but it's a joke. So Kieran, basically, it's a funny one, you know. So Kieran came to me. He'd been doing the job for about 2.5 weeks, I think it was. So I was just reading, there was a message on my screen saying temperature low, activate battery power. Don't know what that means. It is battery power. It's a bit odd. After the issues we've had with BMW, well, I say BMW, with Rybrook BMW, I'm going to mention them by name. The issues we've had with Rybrook and BMW, I'm not surprised that there's a slight issue with the car. And actually, I'm going to loop them into my next episode, because I've got to send them back an email today following on from some stuff that's happened. But I'm getting off the point. Let me come back to Kieran. So, Kieran was with me for about 2.5 weeks. He was doing a really good job. He really helped just organise a lot of the media that I had in place. He's got everything scheduled. He writes some funny posts. I mean, they're not... I was going to have a conversation with him about the posts that we were putting up, because they just didn't sound like they came from me, mainly because they didn't come from me. And I wanted to just, try and get that off from me for Entrepreneur Life, for sure. Anyway, and we were getting just at the starting point of launching the Life Behind Bars series. So as I was getting ready to launch that, and he came into my office and was like, "Hey, can I have a chat?" Now I knew something wasn't quite right, but I wasn't sure what it was. And he basically said to me, he goes, "Look, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I don't see a long-term future for it." He said the thing is that long-form video, it's not really him. He likes doing short-form video. He likes doing TikToks. He likes doing Instagrams. He likes doing, short, minute-long videos max. And obviously what I'm doing is kind of 15 to 30-minute long videos. And the series for Life Behind Bars is an hour. So it's an hour per episode. There's 10 episodes. So it is definitely long-form video. And there is a difference in that. But what got me more was, because his skill set's good, so he's perfectly capable of doing all of it. He's really, really good. What got me more was the fact that he was all right at the beginning, because it was still new to him, but I could see that he was going to lose the love and the passion for his job. And I didn't want to lose him out of the organisation, because, like I say, he's a good guy and he's really good at what he does. So he just said, is there a role I could potentially move into down the line effectively, that would support short form video? Now, we already had an idea, and I'd already had a concept around in the marketing department, where I was thinking about making some changes, which I've now made, separating the marketing department, breaking the central marketing team down even further than I already had, and actually separating them to individual businesses, which was always the plan. I was just trying to get a little bit more growth before I pushed on. And as part of that plan, there was a position for a marketing coordinator to do all the socials for each of the businesses. So in this one specifically for Shrewsbury, there was a position for somebody to take on doing all of the social posts, all of the content creation, and getting everything up just for Shrewsbury Prison. So I flagged that to him and said, well, hey, look, this role is going to become available at some point in the not too distant future. Is that the sort of thing that you're looking to do? And he said, yep, if I could write a job, that would be my perfect job. I was like, okay, cool. Leave it with me. I'll come back to you and we'll go from there. And within 2 hours, I was back at his desk going, hey, we've sorted it. We've had a chat. We've had a look at it, and yeah, we can move you into this role at Shrewsbury to take over the content creation. This is what the role will do. This is what will happen. This is the terms and conditions are pretty much the same. Salaries exactly the same. Working hours exactly the same. So no real change, just a change of the company he's going to work for and the job that he's actually doing. And he was like, "That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing." Like, when? And I said, start basically on Tuesday. And that was a Thursday. and he doesn't work Mondays. So literally within 2 hours, we'd managed to completely rejig what he was doing in our organisation, completely move him to not just a different, well, the same sort of department, still marketing, but a completely different company within our organisation. And within a couple of days, he was in a different building. Oh, someone's ringing me. Hold on. Hold that thought. Sorry, that was the dudes ringing for picking up the cabins. So the cabins are going shortly. They're there. They're at the gates. I need to go and get there. Anyway, chatting about Kieran. So we did all of that. We have him moved to a new office. We've got him a new manager, so he doesn't report into Joel anymore. And he's now very much part of the Shrewsbury team. And he does all of the social content. So if you're watching any of the socials at Shrewsbury, that is the dude behind it, making it all happen. And he's really good. So really pleased with that. And I think that just goes to show really how fast our organisation can and does and will move based on people and based on what people want to do. We're all about getting people into the right places, the places they enjoy, the places they can bring the best value, not just for them, but for us. And I think that's really key, and that's what's going to see us succeed in this world. And that's what's going to see us attract new talent. It's going to see us, it's going to be what sees us. It's going to increase our employee retention. It's going to increase the people that actually apply for jobs and the people that want to work for us. And work is my bag. So loads and loads of positivities in there, and I'm really pleased by that. What it did do is it left me a big gaping bloody hole back in Joel land in terms of with creating my content, my videos, and that's something I'm going to have to pick back up for the time being, which I'm really happy to do. I actually really enjoy it. I quite like thinking about, right, what video should I do? And then going shooting it, and then sending it to Paul with some edit notes, and then posting it. I quite like all of that. What frustrates me is I just don't have the bloody time. That is literally the situations I don't have the time. So I need to work on that. And I'll leave you with this piece, because this was something else. So we had somebody that used to work for us. And this is one, when we talk about regrets, I don't have huge regrets particularly, but this is one of the things that if I could change, I think my AirPods have just reconnected. Oh, sorry, Paul, I hope the sound's not fucked. This is one of the things that if I could change, I would. And I'm going to do a business lesson episode on this, which is about good people, holding on to good people. So we had somebody that we employed years ago. They'd interviewed for us 3 times, I think, for 3 different jobs, and they didn't get any of them. It was always somebody slightly better. But during that process, we were like, this person is brilliant. This person could be amazing. We want this person. Let's create them a role. And that's what we did. So we created this role. We spoke to this person a few years back now and said, hey, look, didn't get this job, but we really want you in our organisation, really want you in our business. Would you look at doing this role instead? And we're going to create it for you. And they were like, yeah, absolutely, love to. And they did. They came and joined us. And then they worked with us for years, for a good few years. And they were brilliant. They obviously had points where they weren't brilliant. They had points where they were amazing. But by and large, you would absolutely put this person in your team, without a doubt. And then something kind of happened. I think they just fell out of love with their job, or they'd been out of connection with their job, with their role for a while, and I hadn't listened. And I think the signs were there. I know they were there, and we'd had conversations about it. So that's a big bloody sign in itself. And they just weren't satisfied with the role they wanted to do. Unfortunately, the role they wanted to go into, we just didn't have at that point. It just didn't exist, and it wasn't going to exist quickly. So to get them into the department they wanted to go into would have meant a monstrous promotion, and they just would not have been able to do the job. We'd have set them up for failure. So that was a real issue for me. So they ended up leaving us, and that was really quite sad, because they were an integral part of my day-to-day. They were an incredibly dedicated, incredibly loyal, and incredibly strong member of our team, and I would say member of our family. They were integral to our operations. And it goes to show that no one's replaceable, because we did replace some of the work that they did, and some of the work hasn't had to be replaced, and some of it is still to be replaced. And I still speak to them sort of the other week, so they'll know who it is. They won't listen to this, but they'll know who they are. And I was, so I was. That's kind of sat with me not particularly well. And one of the things I've been looking at is there's a new role that I wanted to create, and it's a trouble. It's a bit of a hybrid role. It's kind of two responsibilities tied into one, and we're moving away from that. But before I kind of looked at how I formatted it exactly into two different roles, because the hours aren't quite there to make up either to sort of 32 hours. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So I pinged him an email and just said, hey, look, thinking about, or we're going to be creating a job role like this. This is what it is at the moment. This is how it's going to develop in the future. Here's how I see it all operating and coming together. Would you be interested? I wanted to offer it to you first, effectively, to see if you'd be interested before we press on any further. And just unfortunately, they came back to me, which was really good. I really appreciate it. They came back to me, and unfortunately, they just found a real love and a real passion for what they're doing. Wow, that's real deja vu. Real love and a real passion for what they're currently doing in their new role, and they want to continue doing that. They don't want to, not necessarily take a step backwards, but they want 100% their job to be what they're currently doing. And we can't offer that at the moment, unfortunately. We can only offer that for like 60% of their job, which is a real shame, because I'd love to have them back in our business. I'd love to bring them back into our family. I just don't have the role, unfortunately. And I think sometimes when people move on, that's kind of it. They move on and they settle, and then they're quite content. And it's hard. And that's kind of one of my real, like, just a bit of shit, really, that we lost that person, because I think I would have liked to have held on to them. I'm not sure if our organisation would have grown the way it has grown with them in it at the time that they were still with us, purely because that's how it was. But look, I'm going to leave it there because these dudes are here. There is a very long truck here to pick up the porta cabins. I can see it with a crane on the back. I'll show you. So I'm going to pull into the prison, and I will show you this truck quickly. I'm going to pull into the prison, and I'm going to help these guys get these porta cabins out. Look, it's here. Cabins going. It's all good. Bye-bye, cabins. Woo! Okay, the dude is taking the cabins out, so he's lifting them, and so I would go down and shoot some content for the prison guys as well, for their channel. Which means you're going to get the before and the after, and they're going to get the bit in the middle. Oh, Lauren's arrived as well, so this will be cool. So, this is me going down. This will go on to my episodes, but I'm going to have to shoot something clean, something non-sweary, for the prison, for them to get content. Lauren's here somewhere. Don't know where she is. She's here. I'll message her and find out where is she at. Thought I would just capture this really quickly for you guys, because we're about to have the last of our cabins removed, which is really quite cool. We've had, I think we had 22 here originally. These are the last two on site. They're going right now. Once they're gone, that is basically the site cleared, and then we are ready to begin the development works at Shrewsbury Prison, which is going to see it transformed into something fantastic. So I just really wanted to share this with you. I'm going to put it up, and obviously you can have a look. That's it. They're all loaded, ready to go, which looks cool. Look at the space. Look at all the space. So we're going to have to reposition some of the Harris fencing. Obviously the whole area is going to be tidied, so somebody will come out later on today, give us a really good sweep, a good clean. We'll have to reposition all the Harris fencing just up and around here. We've got all the fencing's here ready to go. We just have to do it, and then we're obviously going to gain ourselves another 1, 2, 3, 4, another 5, maybe 6 parking spaces, which isn't a bad shout. We've got the little lump of concrete there, so yeah, there's 9, 10. Gives about 17 spaces altogether just for the prison along here, so that's pretty good going. So yeah, quite happy with that. And yeah, just cabins going, off they go. There they go, the last of the cabins. Out the doors, off the roads, out the gates, off they go. Hopefully we'll get down the road all right. That's it. That's our cabin's done. That turned into quite a tough little day. So cabins, got the cabins gone. That was good. I've been in budget meetings today for 2 of our businesses. That's been quite tough. Tough time out there, right? So dealing with those. I looked at a door earlier. That was exciting. Had to help carry a prison door up a set of stairs because it's so bloody big and heavy. It took 3 of us. Not quite sure how I got lumped into it, but I did. I've had a marketing strategy meeting this morning, which I led. Didn't have a clue what I was talking about, but I think I blagged it quite well. So that was kind of pretty much my day today. I'm just finishing off actually because it's 3:45. I had another early start obviously this morning, but it's Wednesday, which means it's Daddy and Son night. So I'm heading back home because I look after Jonah. I think we're going to watch a film this evening, play some cricket outside, watch a film. I'll get a little bit of work done. I've got all this space I need to do something with. I've had an idea. I thought, because now I've got a table out there for meetings, so the room out there I use for meetings. So I thought this space in here, maybe what I do is I move my shelves. So all the shelves that I've got here, I thought maybe I'll move those and I'll put the low one maybe here, and then one of the high ones there, and then the other high one there on the corner, and then make this a space. I'll step back over here. Make this like the space for all the bits to go in, because, well, I plan on growing our businesses pretty big. So I'm wondering if I put up a extra set of shelves as a empty set of shelves to fill over time. Just kind of wondering about that. And that will just open up a little bit more space there so I can move myself back a little bit. Still got the space here for sort of casual kind of meetings and whiskies. And then out here, still got a space for an EA, which one day, I'm going to put somebody here as an executive assistant to help, or in one of the other offices over there, more likely. But I've got a decent space here for meetings because I moved these guys over to the other side of the building because they're not here anymore. And of course, I've got the studio just here, which we're going to get started on at some point. So I was thinking about that. Maybe we'll cut that together as a trailer. Paul, do me a solid. Can you cut together this as a trailer for me? I'm thinking about changing around my office and putting here the sets of shelves that are behind here with all the merchandise on. But one little piece further, I thought I'd put the low one here, then a high one, then another high one, and then maybe a third one, or it would be a fourth one, and leave it empty for merchandise and for items to go onto as we grow the businesses. What do you think? Should I move my office around? Yes or no? Cool, that'll be my trailer. Right, I've got to head on. Oh, and I got paid 50 quid for one of the porta cabins that got taken out today, so that was good. Anyway, I've got to crack on, finish my day off. For those that haven't seen this before, I've just come into Lauren's office to actually drop something off, but I'm just going to move her desk ever so slightly. Just going to lower it just a little bit so when she sits down, and this time when she sits down, her legs won't fit in underneath it. I actually bought her a cover for her computer, which I'm going to put on now, but I thought I'd just lower it a little bit. She just won't notice, but she will when she sits down. I've had what I like to think of as a genius idea. I'm going to share it with Jeff. And he's going to go like, what a genius idea that is, Joel.
Is it another toilet idea?
It's another, we'll label this idea a T. Okay, I'm not going to share my great idea with you guys because it's going to be amazing and I'll share it later on. But I'm going to share it with Jeff and I guess we'll decide whether it's amazing or not. We'll find out. That has been an interesting day. So I'm going to do a run. It's actually been a few painful days for me because my legs still hurt from cricket from Sunday. And it's Wednesday, which is really not good. I'm clearly turned 40. So I'm going to go for a run. Just probably a quick 25 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. Just get it out. Just get out there. Do some stretching, loosen up my legs. Then I'm straight into Daddy Son night with my son this evening. It's been one of those days as well. So I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to do. I just wanted to clear my head a little bit as well as clear the lactic acid out of my muscles. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, that is my run done. 3 miles, just over. About 35 minutes, so not too fast. Stretched out, feeling much better, feeling kind of more awake. But yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I know what I need to do. That's going to sound really weird, but like you'll see the vlog in a few days, and it will all come clear. But right now, I'm going to go and hang out with Jonah. I'm having pasties this evening for dinner, so it's a good job I have worked out because I'm about to eat a giant pasty. Jonah, who's Robin Hood?
The green guy hangs in the forest with the bow on his back.
The green guy that hangs in the forest with a bow on his back.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. This is a 21st century child here. This is a child that's been born after 2013. You've been listening to Entrepreneur Life with me, Joel Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur.